Hi guys, I'm Allison and I'm here to talk to you today about some great books that I think you'll really enjoy. These books are especially for the people who think they don't like to read. There's a saying that if you don't like to read, you just haven't found the right book yet, and I happen to believe that is true. And I happen to believe that you will enjoy at least one of the three books I tell you about today. Those books are Guys Read True Stories, edited by Scieszka, Meanwhile by Shiga, and Holes by Sachar. First up, we have Guys Read True Stories. Each story is by a different author, so you'll get a lot of exposure to different writing styles. For example, one story is told as a short graphic novel. There are even some science poems called universes. There's some personal essays that are someone's actual experience they're writing about. There's some historical nonfiction. The first story is a little gross. It's about some sailors who crashed in Africa and were taken in as slaves and had to drink their own urine to survive. No thank you. But reading about it was really interesting. So there's a great variety of stories in Guys Read True Stories. And you can see that it's edited by Scieszka. As far as the Guys Read books go, there are more to choose from. You can choose from funny business, terrifying tales, the sports pages, thriller, and other worlds. All of them are set up in the same way. They have different authors writing short stories based on the topic of the book. When you enjoy one of the stories from the Guys Read book, you can find more books by that author. And in the back of every book, they have a biography about each author, as well as a link to their website and some of the other titles that you might like. So if you like one story in a book, bam, you've automatically found more books that you know you're going to enjoy. It's a great resource. You can also go to the Guys Read website, guysread.com. That's like a whole community where other guys just like you will talk about books, rate books, review books, recommend other books. So if you can't find something you like in the biography section about each author, go to the website and find something you like. Next up, we have Meanwhile by Shiga. This is a graphic novel choose your own adventure. If you haven't read any choose your own adventure books before, it's where you read a page of the book and then at the bottom it poses a question like, do you say yes or no? If you say yes, turn to page 120. If you say no, turn to page 70. And you pick your answer and the story goes on from there with a lot of other choices you can make that change the story's outcome. And that's what Shiga has done in Meanwhile, except he did it with pictures. So you open the book and there are instructions on how to proceed. So you go to the first page and you start here and it tells you go to this tab. And so you start reading the panels and there are little pipes that connect each panel. So you know, okay, you go from here to here. Oh, and here's your first choice. It starts with Jimmy at the ice cream store and you have to pick for him, chocolate or vanilla. And from there you follow the pipes. Vanilla takes you to this tab right here. Chocolate takes you up and around all the way to this tab. And so every time you make a choice, you go to one of these tabs. See how the pipes come off? And you just flip to the right tab to go to that part of the story. And according to the cover, there are 3,856 story possibilities. Because it's such a fun book and it's really silly. Jimmy, after he picks his ice cream, he ends up in a scientist lab. So there are a lot of inventions there, lots of trouble to get into, lots of choices to be made. So I really think you'll enjoy Meanwhile by Shiga. And if you like this one, you can either check out more of the traditional choose your own adventure novels, or if you really enjoyed the graphic novel side of it, there are tons of graphic novels out there. And there's also graphic nonfiction. You saw the example of the short story in the Guys Read True Stories. But there are whole books that are graphic novels, but they're nonfiction. There are some about Lewis and Clark, the explorers. There's one about Houdini, the magician, and much, much more. So if you're interested in graphic novels, tell your librarian and you have a wealth of resources at your fingertips. The last book I want to tell you about today is Holes by Sachar. This is a fiction book, which means it's a made-up story. Stanley was falsely arrested, meaning he didn't actually commit the crime, but he still went to court and had a trial, and at the end of his trial he was found guilty, and he had to pick, would he rather go to jail or Camp Green Lake? Now he didn't know what Camp Green Lake was, but doesn't camp just sound better than jail? So he picked Camp Green Lake, and it turns out there's no lake, There's no camp, there's no swimming, crafts, nothing like that. All day, all they do is dig holes, hence the title. They have to dig holes that are 5 feet deep, 5 feet all around, and that takes a lot of work. So Stanley's doing that all day, every day, but he wonders, why are we digging holes in the bottom of a dried up lake? Anytime they find something interesting, they're supposed to tell the people who come around and fill their canteen with water, and if it's really interesting, they take it to the warden. And Stanley starts to wonder what they're looking for. Obviously they're digging for a reason. It's not just going to be random, and he wants to solve this mystery. Holes is also a movie, so what you could do is get a few friends to read the book along with you, and you can talk about the book and help each other through if you get to some weird parts, because there are some really cool, like, different storylines kind of tie together in this book, and I don't want to spoil it, but if you read it with friends, there's so much to talk about, and it's a really fun story, and then afterwards you can watch the movie. And there's also a follow-up book called Small Steps. So if you like Holes, there is a sequel you can read, you can watch the movie, and Sachar has written many, many, many other books. Again, the books are Guys Read True Stories, edited by Scieszka, but with stories written by various authors. Meanwhile, by Jason Shiga, which is the graphic novel Choose Your Own Adventure, and Holes by Sachar, which is the fiction novel. I hope you like these books. Go to your library and check them out and let me know what you think. Bye!